South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D. And if you didn't know, today is National Yoga Day. So take this as your opportunity to find your zen and get into your position just to have an amazing week. Now, today we're joined by a young doctor who's made a name for himself not only in the medical world, but also in the style world. Dr. Sivu Madikana is in our loft, and he's here to talk about a campaign called Brothers for Life, which aims to promote responsibility in men for their health and, of course, their relationships. We also have a beautiful young singer, Khonaye, in our loft today, and Danilo is going to be chatting to her a little bit later on, and she has a very special song to perform for us, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, our design contestants recently met up with their mentors to discuss their plans for their bathrooms. So we'll see all of that today, and we're going to have our finance expert, Tim Akinnusi, in the loft to share some of his knowledge in the property market. Now, has it ever occurred to you that the hole in the middle of a donut is basically the biggest waste of goodness? No worries, because we've got Clem and Bonnie with the perfect solution to that.
Good afternoon, South Africa. I'm Bonnie Booley. Welcome back to your favorite kitchen. And our fave, Clem, is back. He's been stuck in a food truck. What have you been doing in the food truck?
I've been serving people hamburgers.
Life.
And it's been giving me life.
Yeah.
I've been feeding them, like literally taking the burger, just feeding everybody that came to the truck.
Were they loving it?
They were loving it. I can't wait to do it again.
Okay, awesome.
So I just want to say thank you to all the viewers that came out to support us on the truck over the long weekend. It was amazing.
Yeah. So today we're making churros, which are basically like a pimped out fed cook.
Exactly, like Jeannie was trying to say, it's like a donut, but there's no hole.
Yeah.
It's a cross between a donut and a fed cook. Today we're going to do, it's a Spanish recipe, a traditional.
Yeah.
So we're serving with a chocolate sauce and dusting it in some cinnamon sugar.
One of the things I fell in love about America with is that they actually serve those donut holes.
Yeah, on the side, that's so true.
Can I have those donut holes? Anyway, pop over to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for the full recipe and shopping list. Jeannie's on standby with our first guest.
Thanks, guys. So listen to all of this. Currently, he's a doctor at the Gauteng Department of Health. He's also the ambassador for a campaign called Brothers for Life, which challenges men to take responsibility for their health and relationships. And he works as a health correspondent for radio and TV. On top of all of that, he's also back at varsity studying his master's in business administration. And through all of this, he manages to be featured in style magazines. Joining us in the loft is Dr. Sivu Madikana. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Hi, Jenny. How are you doing?
Reading your autobiography makes me feel like the world's biggest underachiever. I mean, 29 years young, and you really do like to get your hands dirty, so to speak. I mean, what drives you to just have this insatiable thirst for knowledge and learning and everything? You're gonna have everything.
No, so I always find that like such a difficult question to answer because I feel like I'm driven by wanting to achieve and want to be successful, you know?
Yeah.
So I do all the things I can because I love doing them. So I just want to do as much as I can before I die. I know it's like probably like a long time from now, but I'm just doing all the things that I do love doing. And really that's what inspires me to just achieve and do great things. Was
medicine initially your first love?
How it came about, really, it was like growing up, I've always wanted to be a doctor, but I never thought I could achieve that for some reason or the other. And eventually, sometime in matric, I realized, actually, you know, maybe I can actually get into medicine. So I applied, and then I got in, and I was like, wow, like, you know, that's how it happened. And eventually, I fell in love deeper with medicine, especially the aspect of public health, and not just the clinical side of medicine, but public health as a whole, when we learned about it in 4th year and 3rd year. So really, I love medicine and just generally all the things that I do.
Yeah. Well, you not only, you know, have done well in medicine, but you've gone a little bit deeper into the business of medicine. I think you sit on the board or are a member of JUDASA and also the Medical Industry Trade Union. What exactly do these unions stand for? What is their message? What are they there to accomplish?
All right. So the South African Medical Association is a Section 21 company. So it's a non-profit organization that looks after the interest of medical practitioners in the country as a whole.
Yeah.
And so I sit on the board of the Junior Doctors Association, which is they look after the interest of young doctors in South Africa because they face a lot of challenges. For example, interns, there was a story about an intern here in the Western Cape and also interns in Johannesburg also and in Durban who happen to fall prey to accidents after the post-call because they've worked so many hours, etc. So it's really looking after the interests of young doctors in the country and making sure that their rights are protected as much as they work for government, but we still need to protect their rights as individuals.
That's so important. I mean, how's that going? Because a while ago I interviewed Dr. Maria Palema, I don't know if you know her, and she actually wrote the book, The Doctor Who Walked Away. And she said, you know, she just had to, because after a while, the sheer exhaustion and the trauma that you go through as a doctor is just debilitating. And I think a lot of doctors are quite unsupported. I mean, what was it like for you, grueling working hours, and also the things I suppose that you're exposed to can get quite emotionally draining, not to mention physically draining, just hours of work.
Yeah, look, I think it's always been a thing of internship in the country. I suppose internship all over the world is a situation where you're made to work because you're an intern, so they push you around, do whatever they want to do with you. And also in the public sector in South Africa, we find that a lot of doctors are working hours. I remember the longest number of hours I've worked before was about 36 hours.
No, but how do you even do that?
30 minutes of sleep in between.
So
and that's what you do as an intern.
Do you eat in between?
Yeah, so you have to find food somewhere in between that. And that's what we're trying to protect young doctors against, because it's been proven by research that if you're a young professional, actually just as a person working, you can't be effective post a certain number of hours, let's say 12 or something like that, you know? So if you expect young people to work for a good 30, 24 hours non-stop, that's going to lead to exhaustion. That's going to lead to them not wanting to work in the medical field.
No, they're going to burn out.
Exactly.
Okay, you're a doctor. You'll be able to tell me if this is true. Is it true that you can survive without food and water for longer than you can survive without sleep?
I absolutely have no idea.
Okay, I swear it's true. Google it.
I'll
so
check
that's
it out.
why it's so important that our doctors have to sleep.
No, absolutely. Like we just need to make sure that at the end of the day they're human beings, you know, and they need sleep, they need to work in an environment which is safe for them, and also an enjoyable workplace more than anything else. And if you're going to be helping people in the process, you need to be a happy person yourself.
Yeah. So that's the stand that you're taking with the unions that you're part of. That's
yes,
brilliant
we literally need to stand for young doctors and doctors as a whole, that they need to be treated like human beings and like everyone else, because people expect doctors to be these demigods that come out of like heaven literally and just change
I've met a few
things.
surgeons with God complex, but they are incredible people. Now, why are you studying your MBA over and above that to then get to be kind of in charge of what a medical business would stand for, other than just being a doctor?
Yeah, so my ultimate aim really is to work in the public healthcare sector and more at management level and be able to influence policy, healthcare management and certain things like that. So the MBA is part of a process which I'm in terms of wanting to do public healthcare. So currently I'm doing my MBA, and then, God willing, I'm going to be doing my master's in public health afterwards. And so as a whole, so I can work in the public healthcare sector and just make sure that I change the state of health in the country. Not just for the doctors, but also for the people that are seeking their healthcare services, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's easy to see why this young man was literally voted one of the most influential young people in South Africa, I think. But we're going to be back with you in a little while. We've got to chat about your shoes. And seriously, the most outstanding, stylish guy. I can't wait to chat to you a little bit more. We're going to be right back with Dr. Siv after the break to chat more about the Brothers for Life campaign as well. And in the kitchen, of course, we're making those churros with chocolate dipping sauce. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us, we're making churros, right? Okay, what's the first step? We're making a maquiña, basically.
That's what I'm about to say now. It's basically a type of donut. And it's so weird that every country seems to have a version of a donut somehow. Don't you think?
Yeah, we all need fat cakes. Everyone needs a fat cake.
Cooks. Everybody needs a fat cake. And I'm sure every country has a fat cake of their own.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
We got a maquiña, like you said now, cook sister and sister. You know the difference, right?
No, what is the difference?
Cook sister is the braided one that gets fried off and then coated in that sweet glaze.
Yeah.
Sister is the donut that gets fried off and then goes in the glaze and then coconut.
And then coconut.
Such a Cape Town thing,
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know the difference. But now
I know.
Churros, Spanish, right? So we're starting off, normally you would make a choux pastry for this. This is an easy version of this recipe. Choux pastry is like very intensive. You've got to cook out the flour, add it to a mixer, add your eggs one by one. No time for that today.
No, yeah, ain't nobody got time. Okay.
This is just sifted cake flour in a bowl.
Right.
And we're going to add some baking powder because we want that lift.
Okay.
That's very important. That goes in. And then a little bit of olive oil. We're using extra virgin
These
olive oil.
are fancy makwenyas.
I know. And canola oil, I'm sure, will be fine. And then very, very hot water, close to boiling.
Okay.
That goes in there. And then all you're going to do, super easy, just mix it all up.
Whisk.
So what's going to happen is this is going to sit for a little bit, and as it sits for, like, I would say for about 10 minutes, it kind of thickens up, and that's just that flour that's in here absorbing all the extra moisture that's in there. So while that's sitting for a few minutes, we are going to start on our chocolate sauce, because traditionally churros have to have a chocolate sauce.
Okay.
So what I've got in here is some cream. I've heated it up already.
And when are they traditionally eaten? Is it like a dessert?
I think it's more breakfast, but to be honest, I think they eat it every time of the day.
Okay. All right.
So let's go. Heat is on.
I'd probably wake up in the middle of the night.
Why not?
I do things
Why
like that.
not? With a healthy dose of chocolate. So I'm using a combination of dark and milk chocolate just to add a little bit of sweetness to it. We're not going to add any extra sugar to this right now. So once the cream comes up to a boil, chocolate goes in, and you switch the heat off. There's enough heat in there to melt the chocolate completely. There's a saying, chocolate melts in the hand of a child, not in a pot. Isn't that so poetic?
You would say that, I know. So randomly poetic.
Okay, cool. So that's going to do its melting thing. I'm going to ask you to add our salati caster snow into that dish over there. It's in front of you.
How
I'm
much?
using caster snow. There we go. You just go crazy.
Oh, like
So I'm using caster snow because it's really fine. That's what we want. We want that fine sugar to coat the outside of a churros.
Say when?
You keep on going.
Okay.
You keep on going. That's enough. Cool. And if we can just add some cinnamon. Must have cinnamon. I love lots of cinnamon. So I
love cinnamon.
I think I was supposed to add half of that. It is. I think I was supposed to add half. I went crazy and added all of it, right? Don't worry about that lump. We'll take it out in a second. So our chocolate sauce is going to be made.
I'll just do that while you...
Our chocolate sauce is busy melting, or the chocolate's melting into our cream.
Okay.
Our pastry is almost there, and we've got our sugar that's done for the end. So if I can ask you to
Are we supposed to
me,
mix this?
Yeah, but I'll mix it later on. That's not an issue. If you can pass me that black jug at the end. I'm putting it in a piping bag, you can see, with the star nose at the bottom. And I'm kind of putting it in the jug. That just helps me keep everything all in one place.
Yeah.
In case it's a one-man job and it's just you alone at home. So I'm going to pipe this into our jug salon. And when we come back, we're going to pipe that into the hot oil. They're going to puff up beautifully. We're going to coat it in our cinnamon sugar. And we're going to start dunking.
Wow. Apparently they're traditionally a bit bigger than this usually.
Okay, so these are churritos, right?
Churritos.
No.
Churrettes.
Churrettes, there we go, churrettes.
Yeah.
So we're keeping ours a little short today. You can totally make them extremely long. That's the way traditionally made. But keeping it nice and short, cut them more, because then you end up with more. In a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that way you can just, more dunking. No one wants double dippers. There we go.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we're keeping them small today.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so let me just get this in here. Again, at home, if you've got someone to help you do this, it'll be great. Another tip is, if you don't have a piping bag, use a Ziploc bag.
And just cut a little
corner
off. Okay.
That's perfect, and that'll do the job. And it's also great, you can keep the batter for a few hours in there, and when you're ready, just snip it off and go. Okay, so I'm going to let this rest up in the oils, in a bag for a few minutes.
Okay.
And then, get it in there. As you can see, that's in there, looking good.
Okay.
So when we come back, we're ready to start frying off.
Okay, wonderful. All the details of the recipe and the shopping list are on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. Let's head back to Jeannie on the couch.
The Brothers for Life campaign was founded in 2009 and focuses on men promoting responsible behavior in life, health, and relationships, as well as families and communities. This year, they made Dr. Sivu Madikana their ambassador, and we're joined again by Siv to learn more about their work. So what exactly does Brothers for Life stand for?
Yeah, so as you already noted, it was formed in 2009, and really Brothers for Life is there to promote positive health norms, healthcare norms in men in the country. And not even just health norms, but also social behavioral issues that the young men in South Africa are facing, because it was noted that, through some research, the fact that young men don't test as they're supposed to be testing for HIV.
Wow, that is very disturbing. I actually watched the campaign, and the website is so impressive as well. And you've got Dr. John Carney, Trevor Noah in the campaign as well. Why is it so important for men to reach out to other men to share these messages?
Yeah, again, so through research, it was also shown that men don't talk about HIV. They don't talk about HIV testing. They don't talk about HIV issues and other health issues that they have. So young men will wait until a very long time to get tested, for example, for HIV. And so it's important for other men to also relay these messages, these positive healthcare messages to other men so that we get a conversation started.
Okay, but for you personally, why did you want to get involved?
Look, so for me, Brothers for Life came at a point where I think it's inclusive of all the things that I do. So I love medicine, I love media, and it was just a mixture of both things that I wanted to do and spread positive health norms. When it comes to Brothers for Life specifically, we have a tweet session about twice a month, and in that tweet session, we talk about HIV. It's no longer a thing about, for example, HIV just being spoken about in little corners, in the back rooms, etc. We're putting it on Twitter, on social media, and getting that conversation going, because we need to talk about it in order for something to happen.
Exactly. And then do you do like support groups as well, where you actually physically go out to meet people, or is it all done online?
No, currently the part that I do specifically has been online per se, in terms of relation to like social media and also media, but we're launching into a more contact session towards the end of next coming month or so.
Amazing. Yeah. How do people get involved? Like, what happens if I'm just this regular guy and I don't have anybody to speak about or speak to, and I found out that I have HIV? I mean, how does that work?
All right, so during the process of HIV testing, people go through what we call counseling and testing. So you don't just go in, get tested, and you go home. So they first pre-test counsel you, and then after that, you get post-test counseling. And that allows for the counselor to know that you won't feel alone when you're done with testing for HIV. But specifically with Brothers for Life, I suggest that people go on to our website and also check out Brothers SA on Twitter and also Brothers for Life on Facebook, and just stay in contact and just find out more information in terms of where you can get a hold of us and how you can get involved also.
Yeah. I want to know some personal stories. Like, what is it for you? Do people message you directly, or do you sit on the handle Brothers for Life and then just message people through there? Like, what personal stories have you encountered doing this?
So ultimately, it's really about getting people to share the information, just get knowledge, as much knowledge as they can.
Sure.
So we do allow people, for example, I do allow people to send me an email. So my email is on my Instagram account, and also you can get a hold of it on the internet. So if you want to have like a bit more personal contact, you can. Usually people just like message me, but also we try also keep it very within the social field in terms of making sure that people talk about HIV, talk about HIV and testing, talk about good health in men in the country.
Exactly, especially now, I think, with, reading up on all these blessers and blessies, I think people do need, and men especially, need a lot more responsibility in terms of protecting the ones that they love around them.
No, absolutely. Like, it's coming to an age where, young women are not, being protected as much as they need to, but also more specifically, we need to get men to take ownership and take responsibility for what they do and what they bring into the room.
Totally. And women must become their own blessers. Buy your own stuff.
No blessing generally anyway, actually.
No, exactly. But now you're really quite good online as well. I mean, you've got quite an interesting blog as well. What is that about?
Oh, yeah. Our blog is called Our Prescription. .tumblr.com, which I started when I used to live in Cape Town. I was doing an internship. So it was me and my really good friend who was also a fellow Dr. Yanga Madlala. And on Our Prescription, we basically say it's style that the doctors prescribe. For example, what we would wear.
So you're not speaking about anything medical?
Not really, not at the moment, no.
Let's just discuss what you are wearing, because those shoes are amazing.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Tell us, why is style so important to you? Because I think you won an award and were nominated as one of the best dressed with GQ, as well as Destiny Man. I mean, your fashion sense hasn't been unnoticed.
No, so I'm still yet to get there. But, I honestly think style for me is just an extension of who you are, really. Because the first thing people see when they look at you, they first see how you dressed and how you look. And that gives an impression, and a lasting impression at that. So I did a style diary with one of the most fashion magazines in South Africa, and it was a 5-day style diary, just discussing what it is that I would wear, like on a normal, I'll say 5 days or so.
Yeah. Well, you are absolutely outstanding. I find you so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with everything that you're doing. I think you definitely are going to take over the world because you really are amazing. Thank you so much. We're going to be with you in a little while. Now, after the break, Danilo chats to rising music star Khonaye, and she'll be performing a very special song right here in our loft. So we'll be right back after this.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, I'm super excited to chat to our next guest because she's one of the rising stars of isiXhosa music. She was born in the Eastern Cape and raised in the Western, and after years of singing in every classroom, exam and sports field, much to the frustration of all of her teachers, it was inevitable that she would make this her career. Her debut album, Garden of Songs, was recently released through the record label owned by Nsika Fananganga from The Soil. Joining us in the loft is Khonaye.
Hello.
Oh, you're as beautiful as I imagined you. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Look, absolutely amazing. I mean, your story of getting to where you are today and being discovered was like a sort of Charlize Theron moment with one of the legends from The Soil, who I love, by the way. Tell us about your story.
I met Nsika Fananganga in 2012 for the first time. They came here to come and perform, and then someone said she can sing while I was off in the bathroom. And then when I came back...
You were singing in the bathroom, I hope you weren't.
You know, when I came back, they were staring at me like something was wrong. I was like, it wasn't me, guys.
Yeah.
Didn't do it. But like, sing for us, and I sang for them. And he said one day. Sure. And I waited for one day until 2014 when he came back again. They came back again. And then he said, sing for me and I'll compose for you. And I was like, but last time, it's like, last time is then, this is now. And then I sang Uzibianini. That was it. He said, I'll give you a test. I sang When I Wet and it's like, follow me, follow me. I was like, okay. Like, when I wet, baby, when I wet. And he's like, okay.
Done.
We're done. And then a few weeks later, he said, I would love to welcome you into the Nomadic Tribe family. Please do me the honor. I was like, it's a blessing for me, for you to come to me and say you want me to be a part of the family. So please, I beg you. And then today, we recorded the album. He composed the whole album. I wrote, he wrote. It was just beautiful. It is and was a blessing. Because it wasn't a matter of I had to go and convince people, he had to go and convince people, he had to convince me. It happened, it just gelled from word go.
It's the story of all artists that break into an industry. It's that first opportunity that you get to show people what you've got, and it's the right time, right place, with the right person, and you found that.
Yes.
I was having a good laugh about this with you off air before we got to chat on an interview. You're a hugging person, not a handshake person. Yes. And I love that about you, because there is a real sense that I get that you're an old soul, and you're like me in that essence. There's a lot of young and youngness, is that even a word? Like vibrance about you, but deep down there's this real old soul. Why is that, and how does it affect your music?
This old soul notion has been said by people, so I don't quite understand it. But when I hear people and when they explain it, I think it's the sense of writing that comes into the music and the type of way I portray the music. It's not only, like one would say, the way artists write music now, it's for the feeling of fun, and for me, it is the emotion. It is, I want you to feel the song, I want you to feel the emotion and to actually put yourself in that. So most people in the olden days used to sing like that. They wanted you to be in the moment of that emotion and feel that song.
That's what you try and do with your music as well. And it's incredible because it's a lot of our generation is flash in the pan. It's instant gratification. It's a feeling that you have right now, but it's not lasting. You're talking about that deep root that everybody can relate to and feel and put themselves involved with.
And that's the great thing. I think that's the great thing about the album is that even if you're 16 or you're 68, you will find yourself in each and every single song. Like, for instance, Solomon Mahlangu. Solomon Mahlangu is going to appeal mostly to our mothers and our fathers, more than it will appeal to our generation now, because they know what it was like to fight back in those ages, in those days. And then now to us who are realizing, the youth now who's realizing that I actually want to be something. I actually want to be part of a movement, like for instance, the last year, the fees must fall, now still continuing on the roads when they fought against the rape. Like, people who've got the movement, they want to be able to say, I was there. I gave a part of myself to fight for something that was important, hence Solomon Mahlangu. And there's a lot of other songs like Uzibuyanini. Zibuyanini typically says, when is it my turn? When is my joy coming? When am I going to be able to show the world that this is what I'm made of, this is what I can also contribute? Or a lot of other songs. There's even a love song, Utali Dali. And it's not necessarily the normal, I love you, I love you. I met you then and there when we were going, when I went to go and...
That's what we were doing, that's what I was feeling, that's what I was wearing, that's what I smelt.
You know, it's a story. So
Beautiful.
It's easier for people to resonate with the story than it is to just something, just a fantasy, if I can put it like that.
Sure, I can't wait to have you perform for us. I'm not going to delay any longer. You don't do handshakes, you don't do hugs, do you do high fives?
Yes, high fives.
You are incredible. It's such a great honor to have you with us in the loft. You may go
so
prepare
much.
for your beautiful performance. Being Youth Month, I couldn't think of a more apt artist. She's live with us in the loft today and performing a song called Solomon Mahlangu. I couldn't think of somebody more beautiful to honor in Youth Month.
The tree that will bear the fruits of freedom. Bear the fruits of freedom. My blood will nourish the tree that will bear the fruits of freedom. Usizi lugcwele enhlizweni yami, inyembezi zigcwele amehlo ami, usakhathazekile wona umphefumulo wami, iphi kanti lenkululeko lizawuthi liphele ithemba lam. Xa ndiphakamisa amehlo ami andisawabona maqhawe, andisawabona maqhawe. 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 Nina abaphethe isizwe, vulani umthombo wemfundo namanzi, banxaniwe abantu bam. Nina abaphethe isizwe, vulani umthombo wemfundo namanzi, banxaniwe abantu bam. Nina abaphethe isizwe, vulani umthombo wemfundo namanzi, banxaniwe abantu bam. Nina abaphethe isizwe, vulani umthombo wemfundo namanzi, banxaniwe abantu bam. Aphelile amaqhawe, amkile amaqhawe, Siyawakhumbula maqhawe, siyawakhumbula maqhawe. Solomon Mahlangu, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Solomon Mahlangu, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Wena Chris Hani, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Robert Sobukwe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Mashinini, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Oliver Tambo, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Holy Hlahla Matiba, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Steve Bantu Biko, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Wena Gavin Beki, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Nawe Walter Sisulu, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Albert Lutuli, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Sol Blaki, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Solomon Mahlangu, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe. Solomon Mahlangu, uliqhawe lamaqhawe, uliqhawe lamaqhawe.
I have to give you that hug. I just said that I think Solomon and the rest of the guys who fought for our country are really, really showering praises and blessing on you. Thanks for being an example to our youth. It really, really is beautiful. Her voice is incredible, South Africa, and she's with us in the loft today. Share all the love that you can on the social media sites. If you want to be blessed by the rest of her music, make sure you go and find all the details on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za. The album is available online. You can buy it and obviously keep her career going as fast as you can. We're going to a short commercial break. When we come back, it's time for Winner Home right here on Afternoon Express. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back, and yes, it's time for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, where we follow 3 young talented designers as they transform 3 empty properties at Val de Vie estate into dream homes, using finishes provided by Caesar Stone and Plascon. And at the end of it all, we're giving away one of those completed apartments worth over 3 million rand to one lucky viewer. Earlier on in the week, our 3 design contestants met up with their mentors to look at their bathroom plans and be inspired by the wealth of experience their mentors have to share.
After narrowly losing out to Rudolph in the guest bedroom challenge, the pressure is building for Joanne as she needs to wow the judges with her bedroom design.
And what's going to happen here?
We're going to put white tiles all the way up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All the way, and then on the ground as well. So we'll have this white tile shower, and then we're going to go with grey on. Should we go with grey on the?
Or weren't you going to do a cement
yes,
or
like
concrete
it's a
floor?
dark grey cement kind of
I think
floor.
that will be great. Your bath is white?
Yes, and white walls.
Okay. And I think it's very important that you pull the colours that you had in the bedrooms and in the other parts of the room, pull it through into the bathroom.
Okay.
Because it is actually part of that bedroom.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So we should try and incorporate the copper somehow.
Yeah, no, we definitely will incorporate the copper.
This wall we're going to have the vanity. We have the concrete basin that Sivu Stone is making for us.
I think it's brilliant that you're bringing in the natural materials, and it will be a very good contrast, the warmth of the wood against the coldness of the concrete. Okay, and a mirror?
Yeah, a large floating mirror. It's going to be about this far on the wall.
And I love the idea that it's standing away from the wall and it will just create the depth.
Yes, yes. So
I think it's fabulous.
The judges liked Minentle's use of colour in the guest bedroom, but he's going to have to up his game from a design and saleability perspective if he plans to catch up with the others.
In terms of our references, do you want to take me through exactly what you had in mind for walls, floors, ceilings? What's our wow factor? How are we going to set ourselves apart?
I think what's going to have us stand out is having this huge feature wall. So I have this idea of having a mosaic feature wall. For the mirrors, I want to do something different, whereby I take up this concept of the frame, which is I get from the guest bedroom. With the palette that I came up with from the guest bedroom, I'm taking into the bathroom the very earthy colors, and I'm going to liven it up with some plants as accessories around the bathroom, just to give it some life. Remember I said I'm going for the Caesar stone and you recommended the other one?
Yeah, and you wish you went the other one?
Yeah, and yeah.
We couldn't use the same Caesar stone for everything. As much as I probably would have wanted to as well, but those are when you make those hard decisions where you actually do it because it's strategic. I think focus on, firstly, the technical drawings, just really get into grips with the planning and that. You obviously remember, if you're relying on other people, you have to give them enough time. I think the Caesar stone is crucial because we didn't have element in the last challenge, so make sure that that one's really strong.
I'm definitely on it. I'm very excited with this project. We got this.
Rudolph may have come out on top for the first challenge, but with no time for complacency, he's already looked at ways to set his bathroom design apart from the competition.
Michelle, I really like this Pura Vida range, which is white, one of my favorite colors. And tell me, what do you think of the shower head? I really do like the shape of it. It's really organic. It's really an art piece by itself.
I like it. I think it's going to add to the spa-like feeling of your bathroom, and I think it's a designer piece. It's going to add huge value to the property.
What I do like about it is that it will fall straight down, and with the main bathroom we have a much shorter shower than in the guest bathroom.
Well, let's go and see what it looks like.
Let's go. So Michelle, this is Michelle David from Unsgrown.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Michelle, I would like to know if this is going to be the right choice for me. I really like the Pura Vida range. I am concerned about the splashing that's going to happen in the shower because I don't have shower doors, and also about the eco-friendliness.
It's obviously a valid concern for any bathroom, and this particular shower head is great because it uses eco-smart technology. It combines 3 parts air with 1 part water, which uses only 9 liters of water per minute, but you've still got your XXL size shower head factor, which means if you look at the human body from the top, it forms a rectangular shape. So this particular shower head will cover the entire body. Would you like to see how it works?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yay!
And do you have a matching hand shower?
Of course we do, Rudolph. You can have a look at this rather voluminous Pura Vida hand shower here, and it's got the white chrome, which matches your overhead shower. One of the functions is a massage function.
I like that. I really like that. This is great.
Yeah, especially for us bathroom.
Wow, now with only a few days left, the pressure is really on. Another factor our design contestants need to take into consideration is who will be purchasing the apartment they're designing. At different stages of our lives, we all have different needs. Now, Bonnie's on the couch to learn more.
So as people progress through different life stages and their family structures and financial situations change, so do their housing needs and preferences. We have Tim Akinnusi with us in the loft, who's the head of sales and client value management at Nedbank Home Loans. Welcome back, Tim. Lovely to have you with us again.
Thank you, Bonnie.
So typically when you first leave your parents' home, you're looking to possibly rent an apartment. I mean, what should we be thinking about at that stage of our lives when it comes to eventually owning a home?
So yeah, I think to start off with, you know, when you do leave your parents' home, and if you perhaps maybe don't get a windfall of some money to put into a new place, the typical route is to start to rent. Because with rental, you then just limit and you cap your expenses to just the rental. The intention really is that you don't go in there and just rent and continuously rent for over a prolonged period of time, but really when you start renting, you should be thinking about how to get into property, so therefore you should be saving from the onset.
Yeah.
We don't think that there's any particular life stage that one needs to get into property. It really is about when you are economically active and you have some savings, you should get in and find something that suits your life stage at that point in time.
Yeah. Right. So the next stage of life is you've moved out of your parents' home for a while, and now you understand that you need to start investing in your future and buying your first home. What are the most important considerations? I remember when I first bought my home, I think I made a few mistakes. I know far better now. Hindsight's the best side. But what do I need to consider?
I think firstly, when you are in the process of deciding on buying a house, you should start to think about it from the time you're even renting. So you're never too young to get into the investment market, and property is one of those investment classes that you can get into. And the idea is that when you buy your first house, you stay in it long enough to pay some equity into it by paying down the debt. And over time, you expect that the house, should the market conditions be correct, should appreciate in value. And when you eventually do sell that because your life stage has evolved, maybe you've now found a partner, you want to settle down, you then have the ability to have some savings based on what you've paid into the house, as well as the appreciation of the property itself, to then put a nice down payment into the next house.
Yeah.
And by doing this, what it allows you to do is to influence your loan to value, so banks can see that you're committed to this particular property. And secondly, you have more influence over the rate that we give you on your property.
Yeah.
And so that sets you off on a good course to continue to do the same thing. Pay more into that property, the house appreciates, and as your family enlarges, you can then look at buying your third home.
Yeah.
Or even if it's just to be able to start to create some level of wealth by paying down this house and then leaving it as a legacy to your kids.
Yeah.
Or to do some of the things with it from an investor standpoint.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as being too young to buy property?
That's the great thing about it, is that you're never too young. As long as you are economically active and you can afford it, it's the right thing to do, because you are putting yourself in a position where over time you can create something that will be left for you over the next 5 to 10 years. So my view is that the narrative on property being for the older generation should change, because as long as you have an intention of paying for the place and looking after it, it should serve you well as an asset.
Thank you so much, Tim. I'll definitely make better decisions when I'm buying my next property. Nedbank can help and assist you through all the different stages of life, wherever you might call home. Make the things that really matter happen with Nedbank. For more information, visit www.nedbank.co.za/home loans.
Remember, you can head over to privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favourite bathroom. By casting your vote, you stand a chance of winning paint from Plascon to the value of 5,000 Rand. You will also automatically be placed into the grand prize draw, where you could win one of those completed apartments at Val de Vie worth more than 3 million Rand. Win a Home is proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're back in the kitchen putting the finishing touches to our churros. How far are we? Are we about to deep fry them now?
Yes.
I love deep frying anything.
Awesome. So these are the ones I made earlier, but you see what I mean by they're a little smaller than the normal.
So adorable.
They are.
Yeah.
So what I've used is, the reason I got a star nozzle on the end is so you can have all those crevices for that cinnamon sugar to get in there.
Star nozzle.
Star nozzle. So I'm going to ask you to start dusting them, Solange.
Okay.
And I'm going to start piping the others that I've got over here.
So I just roll them around?
Yeah, totally. I'm just going to make a mess everywhere.
Are we serving them in this little dish?
Yes.
Okay.
Before we... There we go. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Of course I am.
This is looking crazy.
How's it going?
That's going to go in there. They don't take that long to cook. I say they take about a minute, which is also great if you want a last minute or midnight snack.
Yeah,
Don't know if you're going to stop
I love
deep frying
midnight
things
snacks.
at
Terrible.
midnight.
It's terrible. That's why I wake up and run off to gym and guilty frenzy.
It's all about balance.
I know.
Okay, you're doing an amazing job.
You can't be too good. You can't be too good in life.
It is.
You can't be too healthy.
Okay, you know what? I completely lost shape with these ones, but they look amazing. They don't look like yours. I mean, look at this.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Your kids will be so fascinated. They'll be like, Mommy, what animal is that? Cool. So to go with,
we're very real in our kitchen.
We
you know,
have
so
to be.
Things like that do happen.
Because that's what's going to happen with our viewers at home. They're going to be like, my donuts turned into like, I mean, what's that?
Wow.
Okay, so it's nearly there. What I'm going to do is, I forgot to mention with our chocolate sauce earlier.
Yes.
That I added a little bit of golden syrup to it. And all that does is it stops the chocolate and the cream from setting, so it keeps it liquidy and velvety like this.
Golden syrup, okay.
So
That's
I'm
a lovely
supposed to
trick.
like put this in a little serving dish, but I'm just gonna drizzle straight onto. So if anybody is like allergic to chocolate or not doing chocolate, shame. There's more chocolate than churros, yes.
Yes.
That's our ratio.
Yes, okay. Doc and Jeannie, you've been served.
I'm so
Some
excited.
churros.
Wow, that looks amazing. Go
Okay.
for it. You go first.
Should I start?
We actually do
Yes,
really
please.
eat, so you're going to have to really eat.
Should I just decorate with food though?
No such thing. You know, there's a place in America that deep fries absolutely everything, and now they've realized they even deep fried water the other day. They
my
deep
word.
fried butter, they deep fried bananas, and the other
did
day they
that
actually
work
deep
out
fried
with the
water.
water?
It worked. They were able to do it. Okay, obviously Oprah is a huge fan of deep fried this. Okay, this is amazing. I don't even know where to dig in. And these are Spanish churros, hey?
Yes, they are.
If they were Portuguese, they would have been the bigger ones. No, you see them at like Lusita Land. They're these massive churros. They're amazing.
How does it taste?
No, it's absolutely delicious.
Loving it, Tim.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the carbs though.
Yeah, we go to gym. We all go to gym. It's yoga day.
It's yoga day.
Stop
We're going to
it.
go to yoga. Make sure you join us again tomorrow for Afternoon Express and get here early because during the first 15 minutes of the show, we're chatting to the kitchen vixen, Bianca Duplessis, about quick and healthy nutrition for children. And in the kitchen, we're making a porchetta roast. Wow.
Amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
Porchetta.
This is ridiculous. Clem, you certainly have
is
outdone yourself as well. This is great. And they're still so chewy.
It is.
Thank you so much for coming through and being on the show. You are a huge inspiration.
Thank you for
Wonderful
having
having
me,
you.
guys.
So we'll be back again tomorrow at 4 o'clock on SABC3. Mwah! Good evening and happy eating.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we're joined by a parent coach to chat about how to choose the right daycare or nanny for your kids. And food blogger Bianca Duplessis shows us how to pack a healthy school lunch.
The hottest address on TV is Winner Home on Afternoon Express. Proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.
Another feel-good production.
Hello, my name is Hidie. I'm 30 years old and I'm from Namibia. Currently, I'm a maintenance planner in the Assets and Operations Department of BP Southern Africa. The hardest thing for me perhaps has been developing a career in a male-dominated environment. My hope for the future in terms of my professional life is to continue excelling in the field of engineering. Personally, I look forward to having a family in the future. My biggest fear perhaps is that I have no fears. Something you might not know about me is I'm currently training for my first half marathon, and I also enjoy knitting. My message to Africans is to continue to allow our warmth and friendliness to shine for the rest of the world to see.